Okay, you know that feeling when you're about to say something in English and suddenly your mind just goes blank.
Uh-huh. Like
Yeah.
you're searching and searching.
Yeah, for the perfect word, the absolutely correct grammar, and then nothing. Silent.
It's like this internal traffic jam, right?
Yeah.
All your thoughts are trying to get out at once, but they just get stuck.
Exactly. And if you're learning English, seriously, you are not alone.
Yeah.
That overthinking, it can really stop you.
Yeah.
Just when you want to actually talk to someone.
It's a really common hurdle. And kind of ironic because wanting to be perfect actually stops you from getting the practice you need to improve. That little voice inside, the editor, it can be loud.
So loud.
Yeah.
Which is why today we're going to dive into a story with, I think, a really great message. Stop thinking. Start talking.
I like that. Straight to the point.
Right. It's all about pushing past that hesitation, just
Yeah.
letting the words come out. So think of this as like a quick confidence boost. We'll look at some helpful vocabulary from the story and do a quick quiz at the end to kind of lock it in. The aim.
Yeah.
Just help you feel a bit more ready to speak without getting totally bogged down.
Sounds good. Let's give you some practical tools, maybe a slightly different perspective. Moving from all that analysis to just doing it.
Perfect. Okay, let's get into some useful words from this story. First one, overthink.
Ah, the main culprit.
Totally. It just means thinking way too much about something, like the example, don't overthink simple conversations. It's so easy to do, though.
It really is. And often that overthinking is tied to the fear of making mistakes.
Definitely.
But if you think about how we learn anything, really, mistakes are actually, essential. They're feedback.
Good point. Okay, next word, analyze. To examine carefully.
Right.
Example sentence. She analyzed every grammar rule. Now look, understanding grammar is good, obviously.
Yeah, you need the foundation.
But spending ages analyzing before you actually try to talk, that can really slow things down in a real chat.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a time for study, and then there's a time for just communicating. In the moment, flow is often more important than perfect accuracy, at least initially.
Okay, I love this next one. Blurt out.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It means to say something suddenly without really thinking. The example is just blurt out the first words.
It sounds a bit impulsive.
It does, but it's about just going for it, Get something out there, even if it's not perfectly formed.
That makes sense. It helps you get past that internal judge, that hesitation. Just express yourself. It's actually a big step towards fluency, I think.
Totally agree. Then we have mistakes, just errors while you're learning.
The things we try to avoid.
Right. But listen to this example. Mistakes prove you're trying. Isn't that a much better way to look at it?
It really is. Every mistake is just information. It tells you something useful. Not a failure, just a chance to tweak things.
Okay, next up, scary, meaning causing fear. Example, speaking felt scary at first. And let's be honest, it often does feel scary, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's totally normal to feel intimidated by speaking a new language. Acknowledging that is step one.
Yeah.
What's interesting, though, is often the idea of speaking is worse than the reality. Once you actually start, you might find it wasn't as bad as you built it up to be.
True. Okay, next word, stress. To feel worried or nervous. Like in she's aggressed about pronunciation. Another very, very common one for learners.
Definitely. And that stress can actually make it harder to think clearly, harder to remember the words you know.
Right, it blocks you.
Exactly. So the goal is to try and manage that stress. Focus on being understood, not necessarily on perfect pronunciation every single time.
Good advice. Okay, then there's fluency, speaking smoothly. Example, fluency comes with practice. It's kind of the dream, isn't it? Smooth speaking.
It is for many learners, yeah. And it's important to remember fluency isn't about zero mistakes. It's about communicating your ideas without huge pauses or struggles. It builds up over time.
Needs patience. Next word, confidence. Belief in yourself. And the example is great. Fake confidence till it's real. What do you think about that?
There's actually something to that. Acting confident, even if you don't totally feel it, can change how people react to you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and getting positive reactions can then genuinely boost your actual confidence. It's like a positive cycle.
I like that. Okay, almost there. Practice. Repeat to improve. Example. Practice with strangers helps. Ooh, that can feel scary too, but probably effective.
Very effective. Because real-world chats, even quick ones like ordering coffee, force you to use the language spontaneously. It gets you comfortable outside of the classroom.
Makes sense. And finally, progress, improvement over time. Example, celebrate small progress.
Yes. This is so important.
Why do you think?
Because noticing those little wins, like understanding a bit more or using a new word, keeps you motivated. It shows you're actually getting somewhere, which is key for sticking with it long term.
That's great. Okay, let's try and make these words really stick now. We'll say the word in a short definition. Maybe try saying them out loud after us. Ready?
Let's do it.
Overthink. Think too much.
Analyze, examine carefully.
Blurt out. Say suddenly.
Mistakes, learning opportunities.
Scary. Causing fear.
Stress, feel nervous.
Fluency, smooth speaking.
Confidence, self-belief.
Practice, repeat to improve.
Progress, improvement.
Nice. Okay, quick quiz time just to see what stuck. Based on the story, what was Emma's main problem?
She was overthinking before she spoke.
Yep. And what did her friend Aubrey tell her to do?
Just blurt it out.
Exactly. What's the story's view on mistakes?
That there's nothing wrong with them. They're totally normal when you're learning.
Good. What does analyze mean again?
To examine carefully.
Right. How did the barista in the story help Emma out?
Oh, he was just patient and kind with her.
Nice. What things get better with practice?
Fluency and confidence, both of them.
And what should you maybe fake at the start?
Confidence. Act confident.
Okay. What's sort of the opposite of scary?
Maybe safe.
Huh.
Or easy. Comfortable.
Yeah, any of those work. Why is stopping overthinking a good idea?
Because it just blocks you from speaking naturally.
Perfect.
Oh.
And the last one, what should you always celebrate?
Every little bit of progress.
Awesome. So when you boil it all down, what's the big message here?
Well, I think it's that perfect English isn't really the point.
Right. Communication is the point. Connecting with people, sharing ideas, even if it's a bit messy sometimes.
Exactly. And that actually leads to a thought. What's maybe one tiny thing, like one really small action you could take today, right now, to put this idea into practice?
So good question. Like what?
Could be super simple, maybe just saying hello or thank you to someone in English if you usually wouldn't. Or asking a really basic question.
Yeah, like ordering your coffee in English instead of pointing.
Precisely. Tiny steps. They build momentum.
Love it. So take that message to heart. Just speak. Don't wait for perfect. And hey, if you want more tips and lessons to build up that speaking confidence, stick around. We've got more coming.
Yep. Now go out there and give it a go.